Hi, this is YOONGOON. In this video, I'm going to talk about what is ND filter. There is 8, 16, and 32. It's quite complex in the first time, but I'm going to talk about how to use neutral density filter. ND filters are used for cinematic shots, cinematic FPV shots, which I mostly take. The reason why I use ND filter is to manage counterlight, and second is to add motion blur effect. This shot was taken by DJI FPV using GoPro 6 with ND filter. The first one, to manage counterlight. Let's talk about this. As you can see here, I did not have ND filters applied to my DJI FPV in the first time, but when you fly toward the sunset, it's going to turn dark, and when you're at the back, it's going to turn bright, but when you see again, it's going to turn black and white and dark and bright. This is a total crap. You can't use this. But when you use the ND filter, though you fly toward the sun, it's going to look very ambient. It looks like heaven. It's so cool and very stable. And even though the sun is at your back, you can see because it's fixed exposure, it shows it's going to be resulting in very beautiful video footage because it's fixed exposure. And ND filter gives this kind of very nice effect. Second is to add motion blur. In cinematic modes, so this was without ND filter. It's very crispy, but with ND filter, it looks more cinematic and it's a little bit darker. Can you tell the difference? Above is without ND filter and below is with ND filter. Let's see more closely. At the edge of the video, you will see these kind of motion blur effect applied. It gives more cinematic effect. For examples, without ND filter, it looks more crispy, but with ND filter, it looks more speedy and it looks more natural. The above is without and it's too crispy and it's a little bit odd, but when you see below, it looks more speedy and more immersive. So let's try to stop the image and you will see these kind of motion blur effect at the edge of the screen. And it gives the viewers more, they can concentrate a little bit more and feel more natural when they're watching this kind of video, like they're watching Top Gun in movie theater. And when you do these kind of divings, it gives more expression of speed. This is why you use ND filter. So which ND filter shall I use? It's too complicated, I don't know. I want it to be simple. Okay, so in this time AVATA has its own specific ND filters sold together separately, and there is ND8, ND16, and ND12. And I recommend buying ND8 if you want to buy only one. And how do you memorize which time you have to use? For like sunrise is 8 o'clock, sunset is 18 o'clock, right? Then that's ND8. And this ND32, 2, so it's gonna be like 12 o'clock, 1, 2. Then just use ND32. ND32 is used under very strong sunlight, like in the beach. And then ND16 is in between these two. So don't want any headache, then just use ND8. I just recommend this one using. I want to be simple. I will gaslight you. ND8 is going to be the best choice if you're not going to buy only one. Let's just try to make it simple, okay? ND8. That's my recommendation. And this is my DJI FPV, and this is the GoPro, and I'm going to take this out, just normal protective lens, and I'm gonna add ND8 like AVATA, and this is mostly what I use. I only bought this one ND filter. You don't have to buy something else because in the morning times, like ND8 is good for like sunrise times and sunset times. So it gives you really like this kind of ambient and very smooth. So I recommend just using ND8. Just stick this and just try to fly in the sunrise time and at the sunset time. 8 o'clock, then ND8 will be the right choice. Just write one choice. So let's try to make it simple, okay? Don't make something very complex. This is the choice. Okay, let's look into the settings and for GoPro for ND8 filter. What I do is that it should be 4K 4:3 ratio and 30 FPS. GoPro 6 does not have like 60 FPS yet, so try to buy 10. And shutter speed is gonna be like 1 to 120. If it's too bright, you can use 1 to 240, but mostly I use 1 to 120. And ISO minimum 100, ISO max 400. White balance is gonna be auto, and this is like DCN-like, but just use a GoPro. That's gonna be a little bit more easier for you. And sharpness gonna be high, and audio gonna be off. The settings for AVATA is same: manual, ISO 400, shutter speed 100 to 20, and white balance in auto mode. Let's see the examples. Hope this video was informative.